Hello everybody, I'm back, and today I have a little front-wheel drive M chassis with NSU TT body from Tamiya. I don't have wheels on it right now, but I guess you know what wheels look like. So here you go, I'll do a little show of the body. I put the rearview mirror in the front like an old Japanese car. I 3D printed a little air intake in here, and then nothing much, just all, printed some little exhaust for the back. So originally I had this car, the chassis was the Tamiya M05 long wheelbase 239 mm, and I just really didn't like the way it drove at all. I just thought, like, no matter how much hop ups you put into it, it's just, you know, it's just not good at all. Didn't track straight. It was just pretty terrible. So I had a buddy. I had the other the 2CV buddy as well, the old French car that I'm using for it, and I had a lot of spare parts, so I made a new chassis for it, and here it is. And so there are parts that I've carried from the Tamiya, namely basically the C-hub with the wheel well, and same for the rear. The basic geometry is from the Tamiya, the body mount and the suspension mount. Everything else is like a little Frankenstein monster. So let's start from the base. The base is an FGX chassis that is supposed to be this way. The front of the FGX is here, the rear is here with the transmission, and you see the FGX transmission is actually still here with the transmission. Yeah, you have the gear diff over here, and so I basically reversed the chassis, and in order to have a correct geometry because of the toe that the arms have, I 3D printed new arms. I redesigned new arms. You can see this part is 3D printed, and so the angles are a bit weird when you try to look at where everything is going, but it's actually, the geometry is actually correct once everything is said and done. And yeah, so that's the front. You see, I've used, those were the laid down shocks of the FGX that were for the front that I'm using for that. They have a very small travel. It's basically, it's a grease tube, and the springs are stiff, so the front suspension is very good. I've created a small piece that I've 3D printed here that's attached to the transmission box, and then I just, you know, figured out how to have some kind of a geometry that worked, and I've 3D printed another piece here in order to mount the hop up for the steering, and that goes to the steering servo, which is a lot less far than in the original when the steering servo was way at the back. And I think I have a servo that's a bit too good for the car, but that's what I have right now. And you see, it's just bits and pieces that I had to do the servo mounts. What else? I'm using a 23 turn brushed Team Orion cheapy can. I have the space here for a shorty lipo. I just put a little piece here, and then I have the strap. The FGX already had the space here to put a Velcro strap. 60 amp Hobbywing ESC that's attached here. And then the rear hands, I actually have quite a few pieces from the original Tamiya, namely the arms, the top, basically most of the geometry, and then I just redesigned two pieces. It's just two pieces in case of something breaks. I just have to reprint one. And so there is the mount that's mounting to the existing holes in the chassis, and then another kind of L shape at the back where all the original Tamiya parts can mount onto. And so far I've had nothing break on the car. It's handling light years better than what the Tamiya was doing. It's tracking, it's quick. And yeah, surprisingly, I thought those 3D printed arms would give, you know, when I crash, when I bang a wall, when I tumble, or I get hit by another car. Same for the rear. But I think that just the nature of those cars, it's not that fast. You know, those M chassis are not that fast. It's only a 23 turn. And the body is taking a lot of the impact, so it's surviving really well. And I think that's about it for this car. It's fairly simple. It's a little, you know, things you put together with whatever parts you have lying around. My free racing FGX ended up being a part bins for so many projects. There's a lot of cool parts on this car. It's just, I think, not that good of a car, or at least I don't like it that much as an F1 car, but it's got amazing parts that can be used. And so here you go, I've made a front wheel drive car with a rear wheel drive chassis and a couple of 3D prints. So here you are. Hope you like this one, and stay safe everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.